Radio Merseyside, live, just the way we love it. Now, talking about your health, always, well, I suppose it depends what it is, because if you've played football for most of your life, you can just bore people rigid with, oh, my knees are shot to pieces, or I've done this, or I've done that. But when it talks about, when you think about different aspects of your health as well, sometimes the conversations can be difficult. We like to keep them personal, but that's your choice, of course. But some might say, getting the ball rolling, getting the conversation going and getting it out there about cancer, whether people, you know, they would say it in hushed tones. They wouldn't even say it in a lot of cases. They just say the letter. And cancer screenings as well. It's going to save lives, this. Last month, Cheshire and Merseyside Cancer Alliance, they launched a campaign right across Halton. And it's called 2 Minutes of Chat and an Early Screening. It's a short video as well, featuring the two lads from 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps. See what they did there. Will Mellor and Ralph Little are in this video as well. Here to tell us more about how it's gone down is Laura Bevan, who is Cheshire and Merseyside Cancer Alliance Social Action Lead for Halton. That's a hell of a title. And in the video as well, also Susan Nickson, who's the writer of the campaign, and scripts and 2 Pints of Lager as well. Welcome both, Susan and Laura. Susan, I'll start with you if I may. I love the title of this campaign, 2 Minutes of Chat and an Early Screening. Please claim that as your your idea, because it's a good one.
No, that was somebody else's idea, but I obviously came up with the 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. But it was a nice little diversion from that to apply it to this campaign. I think because 2 Pints was always a show where people would just chat, and they might chat about taboo subjects. And as you just said, cancer can sometimes be a taboo subject. It has a stigma to it, even these days when, you know, all of us have been affected. We know someone who's had cancer. We know someone who's been diagnosed, or we might have even been affected by cancer ourselves.
Yeah.
And so what we're trying to do is remove that stigma by bringing the conversation to the fore, to have a chat about it in the same way that people might have had a chat in the show 2 Pints.
Yeah, I mean, do you think there's a stigma and we don't like talking about it because that's what our parents did and our grandparents, they didn't really talk about it, so it's kind of, we've inherited that a little bit, you think?
It could be. I mean, this campaign is focusing on cervical cancer, bowel cancer and breast cancer. And I think because those are your private areas, those are more stigmatised. So we're talking about mammograms, we're talking about cervical screening, and we're talking about the FIT test, which is the poo test that you'll receive through the post. And I think maybe some people feel a little embarrassed talking about that, but they shouldn't be, because we do have these body parts, and we all go to the toilet and have cervixes, and a lot of us will be called in for mammograms, and we shouldn't be embarrassed about that.
Well, it's right in what you say, because I've done this job for years and years and years, and up until probably about, if we were having this conversation 10 years ago, there's no way we get into the conversation, check your boobs, have a feel of your boobs, or lads, check your balls. There's no way that you would be able to do that. But these are the terms that we use. It's not offensive. This is the everyday conversation. Don't forget, check your boobs, have a little feel about. It's important. This is life-saving stuff. So we kind of got to get over it, I think, haven't we?
Absolutely. It should be as easy as saying take an umbrella with you, or put your coat on if you think it's going to be a bit chilly outside. You should be able to say to your mum or your sister or your dad or your husband, have you done your fit test for your poo screening? Have you followed up on when the NHS asked you to come in for your cervical screening? Have you been for your mammogram yet? And what was it like? And so some people might be a little bit embarrassed talking about it, but it shouldn't be an embarrassment, because it's such a necessary thing, and it's so necessary to catch these things early,
No, I think you're right. Yeah, you are. You're absolutely right. And it is. It's going to say you catch it early. They always say, don't they? If you get in there early, there's more chance, and it is treatable, etc., etc. I'm going to talk to Laura, and I'm going to take a little bit of music. Then we're going to talk to Laura. So stand by. But just one more question for you, Susan. Everyone in the 2-minute video that you've done a local. I even know Rosie, who's in it as well. I've known Rosie since she was a little girl. How important was that for you to use everyday people and just, Ralph and Will as well, who know that area, Dukesfield, the Archers and the pub, the Waterloo and all of that. People see local areas, people see local people, and it gives it that realism rather than a clinical setting in a hospital.
I mean, it was essential to use local people, people from Halton, because Halton has one of the lowest uptakes of early screenings. So to see people that you might just bump into in the high street, in the local pub, and that you'd see out and about in the town, it was absolutely essential that we used people from Halton, from the local area, because we just have a very poor uptake of early screening. We ignore these things in our county, and then that has to change.
Well, it will change, I'm sure, and having conversations like this can only help. Laura, I'm going to bring you in because I didn't want you hanging on. You're one of the people speaking in the video as well. Tell us what you did for a day job, and when they came to you and said, did you want to be involved? Did you leap at this, or did you need to think about it a bit?
Oh, 100%. So my job as a social action lead is I go out and speak to groups and organisations throughout Halton, again, trying to break down these barriers. But what Susan's done so magnificently with this and the team behind it have really amplified those messages about why these conversations are so important and normalising the chats in those everyday settings. So it's been an amazing thing to be a part of.
Do you have chats with your friends and your family saying, you okay, checked your bits, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do that? Because my kids are in the 20s now, and I do make a point of saying to my sons, anything changes, mate, you need to have a little feel down there, or you need to go and talk to somebody. And I've always made a point of doing that. Is it a similar thing for you and your family?
Oh, I mean, my family and friends are a bit sick of me telling them to be checking the bits, to be honest, because it's my bread and butter, so I'm doing it every day. Yeah.
You must be absolutely thrilled, though, with the way the campaign is going as well. And, you got Ralph and Will involved in this. And I mentioned in the video, too, there's a girl in there called Rosie, who I've known, family friend Rosie. We've known her since she was a young girl, but these are the kind of campaigns that really work, aren't they?
Definitely. And the great thing about people like Rosie and myself and the other people who are local and have quite often, particularly Rosie was involved in a project that we were doing previous to this as well, is that relatability and it, everybody sort of knows the people involved. It had a real buzz. Will and Ralph come in, created a huge buzz in Runcorn the day they came to film it. So it's really exciting to really get that message out there and get people talking. It's almost like you're sneaking them in to chat about something funny and fun, and then you can get that serious message about why it's so important to get your screening done.
Now, the boys have said they haven't been through any of the screenings discussed. I mean, 2 of them for obvious reasons. But what are the varying ages now for bowel, breast and cervical screenings? I know I had the little test kit through for the bowel not so long ago, so I did that, sent it off. The thought of it is like, oh, I'm going to sort this out. But the actuality, I mean, it's a doddle. Sent it off, got a letter back, all good, we'll check it again in however long. And the thought of doing it sometimes is far worse than the actuality, I think, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, they're all pretty straightforward and simple tests. So they've just actually changed the age for the bowel screening, has come down from 55 to 50. So most people sort of, as they hit that age, just after the birthday, will start to get invitations, as you say, explaining how they do the kit, and then they'll get the kit. And, you've got to laugh about these things because, as Susan said, everybody does it. Everybody goes to the toilet. And it's...
No, you're right. The reason I'm laughing, Laura, is because my colleague who's producing the programme today, did you get yours on your 50th birthday? Did it come through? She was getting birthday cards through for her 50th. And the test screening kit came through as a little birthday present. So they know the age and it came straight through. But she's done it and sorted it out. But wasn't expecting that on the birthday. But it's important and it's all done, isn't it?
It is. It's really important, and there is quite low uptake on screening in Halton, and as we know, sort of 1 in 2 people are going to be touched by cancer in their lives. Yeah. So we just really need to, break down those barriers, have those conversations, and encourage people to go and have the screenings done.
So what would you say to people in the borough of Halton that takes in Runcorn, over the other side of the bridge, and Widnes and the surrounding areas as well? If that's the area where the uptake is low, what would you say to them? What would be the first thing you would say?
I would say just check with your GP if you're eligible. If you are eligible for any of the screenings, make sure you get those done. It's a simple and easy process. 9 times out of 10 or whatever, it's not going to be bad news. But the earlier that we catch these things, the more treatable they are, the better the treatment is. And, it's just better outcomes for everybody.
Thank you very much indeed, Susan Nickson and Laura Bevan as well, just on that campaign. Search it up. It is dead easy to find. If you just put in, let's have a little look here. It was, where's it gone? 2 pints of lager and a packet of crisps. But the other little line is 2 minutes of chat and an early screening. So if you put those two in, you'll be able to find it. You'll see a little short video as well of the lads and everybody involved in that too. So there you are.
Tony Snell.